What if I told you that a man barely into his 30s had managed to conquer most of the known world? Intriguing, isn't it? Let's talk about a figure who's been the subject of countless books, movies, and discussions. A man whose name has echoed through the corridors of history for over 2 millennia, Alexander the Great. Born in the small kingdom of Macedonia, Alexander ascended to the throne at the tender age of 20, but he was no ordinary king. He was an ambitious, driven man with a vision that would forever alter the course of history. Under his rule, the Macedonian Empire expanded from the tiny region of Greece to an empire that stretched from Egypt to India, covering a staggering 3 million square miles. This was not achieved by chance or luck. Alexander was a military genius, a charismatic leader, and a shrewd politician. He understood the importance of not only conquering lands but also winning the hearts and minds of the people he ruled. Let's take a moment to consider the era in which Alexander lived. The political landscape was a complex web of city-states, kingdoms, and empires, each with their own ambitions and alliances. Socially, it was a time of great change, with the old ways of life being challenged and new ideas emerging. Economically, the world was ripe for conquest, with vast wealth waiting to be claimed by whoever had the audacity and the ability to seize it. Alexander harnessed these factors to his advantage, using them as the stepping stones on his path to greatness. His tactics were ruthless, his strategies innovative, and his determination unyielding. He was a man who dared to dream big, and who had the courage, the skill, and the resources to make those dreams a reality. This was no ordinary man. This was Alexander the Great, a legend who would leave an indelible mark on history, a man whose life and exploits continue to fascinate us over 2,000 years after his death, a man who, in his short life, achieved more than most could dream of in several lifetimes. Born to a king, Alexander was not destined for an ordinary life. Indeed, the extraordinary was embedded in his very roots. His father, Philip II of Macedon, was a formidable king and warrior, and his mother, Olympias, a woman of fierce ambition and divine claims, both played instrumental roles in shaping the character of the young prince. But it was under the tutelage of the great philosopher Aristotle that Alexander's intellect and curiosity truly flourished. Aristotle, with his vast knowledge and wisdom, nurtured Alexander's mind, instilling in him a love for literature, science, and philosophy that would remain with him throughout his life. However, the course of his life took a dramatic turn when he ascended to the throne at the tender age of 20. His father's sudden assassination left the young king with a kingdom on the brink of chaos. Yet, with an iron will and a strategic mind, Alexander swiftly consolidated his power, quelling rebellions and uniting the fragmented kingdom under his rule. No sooner had the dust settled, Alexander set his eyes on new horizons. His initial military campaigns were nothing short of spectacular. He led his armies with a strategic genius that belied his years, combining innovative tactics with an uncanny ability to inspire his men. His relentless ambition drove him and his armies further than any before him. From the battlefields of Persia to the deserts of Egypt, and even as far as the Indus River, Alexander's conquests were vast and unprecedented. His victories were not only testament to his military prowess, but also to his ability to assimilate diverse cultures and peoples into his expanding empire. He was not merely a conqueror but also a visionary, who dreamt of a world united under a universal Hellenistic culture. With each victory, the legend of Alexander grew, his empire expanded, and his ambition knew no bounds. His name echoed through the ages, inspiring countless others with his extraordinary life and achievements. And thus, the boy born to a king rose to become a hero, a legend, Alexander the Great. From Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, Alexander's path of conquest was unprecedented. Let's embark on a journey tracing the footsteps of Alexander the Great, a conqueror whose name is etched in the annals of history. The initial point of his conquest was the powerful Persian Empire, a formidable adversary that had long been a thorn in the side of the Greek city-states. Alexander's victory at the Battle of Granicus marked the beginning of his Persian campaign, a triumph that was to be the first of many. Not one to rest on his laurels, Alexander pressed on, marching his army through the harsh terrains of Anatolia. The Battle of Issus followed, where he faced Darius III, the Persian king himself. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander's strategic genius led to a decisive victory, further weakening the Persian Empire. Then came the Siege of Tyre, a 7-month-long battle against a heavily fortified island city. Alexander's innovative approach, constructing a causeway to reach the city, showcased his ability to adapt and overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. His conquests didn't stop there. Egypt fell next, welcoming Alexander as a liberator. He founded Alexandria, a city that would later become a beacon of culture and learning. His journey then took him to the mysterious lands of the East. In India, at the Battle of Hydaspes, Alexander's forces faced war elephants for the first time, yet even this new challenge didn't halt his relentless march. In each battle, Alexander displayed an uncanny ability to adapt to different styles of warfare, always staying one step ahead of his enemies. His innovative military strategies combined with his indomitable will turned the tide in his favor time and again. Yet, his ambition was not without cost. The grueling pace of his conquests and the battles fought took a toll on his soldiers, leading to mutinies and dissent within his ranks. But that's a story for another time. Against all odds, Alexander had carved out one of the largest empires of the ancient world. His path of conquest, stretching from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, remains unparalleled, a testament to his military genius and unyielding determination. Alexander's death was as dramatic as his life, leaving a power vacuum that shook his vast empire. The sudden demise of this great conqueror led to intense power struggles among his generals, the Diadochi, each vying for control over different regions of his empire. The infighting, betrayals and wars that ensued shattered the unity of Alexander's hard-won territories, yet his influence endured. In fact, Alexander's legacy is not merely about the lands he conquered, but also the cultural and political changes he brought about. His reign marked the beginning of the Hellenistic era, characterized by the spread of Greek culture and ideas across the Eastern world. His strategies in warfare are still studied in military academies today. His dream of a cosmopolitan empire, where different cultures coexist and learn from each other, set a precedent for future empires. Even in death, Alexander's legend lived on, his name synonymous with power, conquest, and unparalleled ambition.